In 1173 the Ghurid dynasty replaced the Ghaznavids in Ghazni, and under Muhammad of Ghor they began expanding eastwards. Between 1175 and 1192, the Ghurid dynasty occupied the cities of Uch, Multan, Peshawar, Lahore, and Delhi. In 1206, the Ghurid general Qutb al-Din I Beg and his successor Iltutmish founded the first of the series of Delhi Sultanates. Each dynasty would be an alternation of various inner Asian military lords and their clients, constantly vying for power. These sultanates would make Delhi a safe haven for Muslim Turks and Persians who would flee the eventual Mongol invasions. The Khalji dynasty was the second dynasty of the Delhi Sultanates, ruling from 1290 to 1320. This dynasty was a short-lived one, and extended Islamic rule to Gujarat, Rajasthan, the Deccan, and parts of southern India. The Khalji dynasty reworked the tax system in India. Previously, the ruler would assign village locals to collect a share of the peasants' produce, using it to pay the soldiers and administrators. In 1300, Ala al-Din Khalji demanded that peasants pay one half of their produce, abolished the authority of local chiefs, and deprived the local lords of their power. If the Delhi Sultanate, an offshoot of the Islamic conquest, was to rule over India, it was necessary for there to be the cultural and ideological integration of the people. This effort of integration and cohesion took time to develop. The first gesture to bring the people into Islam was to destroy major Hindu temples. This was done to loot riches and to signify the defeat of the Hindu rulers and their gods. Sometimes these destroyed temples were replaced by mosques in order to show victory to both Hindus and rival Muslims. Examples are the Mosque of Quwa al-Islam, which incorporated stones and iron pillars from Hindu structures, and the Qutbi Minar, which highlighted the presence of Islam. The dynasties of the Delhi Sultanate stressed allegiance to the caliphate and supported the judicial authority of the ulema. The Khalji dynasty was succeeded by the Tughlaq dynasty, which had ruled from 1320 to 1413. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was supported by Turkic warriors, and was the first to introduce non-Muslims into the administration, to participate in local festivals, and permit the construction of Hindu temples. To maintain his identity as a Muslim, Muhammad bin Tughlaq adhered to Islamic laws, swore allegiance to the Caliph in Cairo, appointed ulamas, and imposed the tax on non-Muslims. The Tughlaq dynasty, however, disintegrated rapidly due to revolts by governors, resistance from locals, and the reformation of independent Hindu kingdoms. The rule of the Delhi Sultanates around this time was based upon Iranian Muslim tradition. According to Barani, a Tughlaq administrator in around 1360, the ruler must follow the teachings of the Prophet, enforce Islamic law, suppress rebellions, punish heretics, subordinate non-believers, and protect the weak against the strong. The Islamic values that were idealized by the Delhi Sultanates were ones that brought men in accordance with God's command by cultivating moral values in the governing authorities. After the death of the last Tughlaq ruler Nasir-ud-Din Mahmud, the nobles are believed to have chosen Daulat Khan Lodi for the throne. In 1414, Lodi was defeated by Khizra Khan, the founder of the Sayyid dynasty of the Sultanate. Khizra Khan professed to rule as the viceroy of Timur and his successor Shah Rukh. Under the Sayyid dynasty, Punjab, Dipalpur, and parts of Sindh had come under the rule of the Sultanates. During this time, various regions such as Bengal, Deccan, Malwa, and others had gained independence from the Sultanate. The rule of the Sayyid dynasty was characterized by frequent revolts by the Hindus of the various Punjabi Dobs. The rule of the Sayyids experienced another revolt under the rule of their general Balu Lodi, who had at first occupied much of Punjab, yet failed to capture Delhi. In his second attempt, Balu Lodi captured Delhi and founded the Lodi dynasty, the last of the Delhi Sultanates. The Lodi dynasty reached its peak under Balul's grandson Sikandar Lodi. Various road and irrigation projects were taken under his rule, and the rule had patronized Persian culture. Despite this, there was still persecution of the local Hindu people, as many temples, such as that of Mathura, were destroyed and had a system of widespread discrimination against Hindus. The rule of the last Lodi emperor was a weak one, and was eclipsed by the arrival of Babur's army.